Salamanca. Good morning, gratitude. Good morning, dear guests. I'm inspired to start our fourth day with gratitude. Gratitude to God for making it easy for us to think, build, and run Peace City World Congress 23 in a foreign country for us. Gratitude to our guests who honored our invitations with presence and, in some cases, valuable gifts. Gratitude to our partners and guest speakers who made efforts in person as well as online to offer us learning and inspiring messages and share great moments. Gratitude to Salamanca City Council and Palacio de Congresos team for being so welcoming and cooperative, so willing to move forward and build shared successes. Thank you especially for Mr. Fernando Castaño Sequeros and his team, Begonia, Susana, and the rest of the team. Gratitude to Peace City World team for a great preparation and execution of the Congress program with professionalism, flexibility, and happy faces. Gratitude to A51 extended team and those who perform behind the scenes. And I'm naming Carlos, Richard, Carlos, Esther, Jose Angel, Juan Jose, Felix, Pedro, and I'm not forgetting about Rafael, Jaime, Azier, Angel, Manuel, Sergio, David. Thank you also for our welcoming hostesses, Maria, Lucia, Vega, Nieves, Carlos, Virginia, Aliana, and thank you our translators who were also of a great help for our understanding of all the presentations in Spanish, Nadia, Juan, Maria. So let me invite you to make a big applause to yourself for sharing this great week with us. Thank you very much. A couple of announcements. To secure a max of presence, we will give our partners a chance to sign MOU with Peace City World just before the coffee break. So if some partners who saw many signings of MOUs are interested in signing an MOU with Peace City World, please get in touch with Christian Urabel, our Vice President in charge of corporate relations, or with Richard, or with Rashid, or with, not myself, because I would be a little bit busy. I cannot help on that. Also, there is an important change for tomorrow. Peace City World Congress 23 will not happen in Palacio de Congresos tomorrow, but at Salamanca City Hall. Actually, we just have been invited by the mayor last evening, and we can only honor his invitation. This has an impact on our program for Friday. We won't be able to ensure a remote connection for guest speakers from the City Hall, so we will do our best to accommodate when possible, and this is good news. So probably some speakers, you will see them speaking today instead of tomorrow. Having a long day, let's start immediately with our first panel, No Smart City Without Innovation. I know that Professor Zubair Lafhaj from Centralille couldn't connect, but Mr. Shadi Khuzam, CEO Khuzam Group, is connecting from Saudi Arabia. He confirmed his remote participation with us. And I'm happy to invite on stage Mr. Anis Daoud, Business Development Director, RoboCare. Mr. Albert Cediel, Middle East Specifications Manager at Holcim. Please make sure you have your microphone. Mr. Richard Scott is going to connect online. He is CEO of Polski Basalt. This is an amazing innovation. Mr. Aurelio Muñoz Alfaya, Business Development Global Markets at Sener. And that's it for our panel this morning. So as soon as you have your microphones, welcome on stage. So for those of us who are with us today, you are most welcome at the City Hall tomorrow. we will give the details. Welcome, Mr. Anis. We probably can have some music while waiting for our panelists to be equipped. How are you doing today? So let me invite Mr. Anis Daoud, Business Development Director at RoboCare, to share with us Take Care of Your Land. Mr. Anis Daoud, do you want to speak from here or from there?
Yeah, from there.
Okay. You're most welcome.
Can I use? Okay. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thanks for attending this session. I'm very pleased to be part of this great event. And thanks to PCW team for the invitation. I'm Anis Daoud, Strategy and Business Development Director of the startup agritech RoboCare. I come from business consulting background and joined recently the startup to accompany in its international development roadmap. So, as said by Munir, I have several discussions with Munir about smart city and how smart city concept with countries can be impactful and bring solution for smart and sustainable development. So we have discussion in Tunisia. I hope we can have such great initiatives and disruptive initiatives to be impactful in Tunisia. We hope we make it happen as the Tunisian guys. So let me start. You have already seen the main challenges presented by participants in several sessions. Here we are talking about smart and sustainable agriculture. We put the title, Take Care of Your Land. So can I I would like to introduce the video which showing how tech solution bring to smart farming. This is a video of World Economic Forum in which we have a video showing from World Economic Forum showing some use cases for smart farming and how tech it can be helpful for that. We can show the video in which our solution is among these cases. So thanks to the tech team, I will come to presentation now. For starting with the critical challenges of smart and sustainable agriculture. I will put take care. Take is the technical take part, and care is caring of the land and all agriculture part in the smart city. Okay, so I will highlight here some increasing concern, increasing pressure on farmers and agriculture in the global world. So it is mainly concerned about the gap between the demand and the supply. So we are talking about decrease in global demand of more than 70% of increased available calories for consumptions. And supply, the supply side, there will be several challenges and constraints regarding the water shortage. By 2030, 40% of water demand will be in shortage. 25% of global arable area is degraded and needs restoration to come back to scale and grow. We add to that all the constraints regarding cost inputs and the rising cost of energy, of inputs and labor, and finally, with all the challenges related and the impact related to change climate, okay, for natural catastrophes. So these are the main, let's say, concern to be tackled in smart city or in overdevelopment of the agriculture. So for that, the must do is agriculture must embrace technology to tackle these challenges, and this will be enabled by technology, by several technologies. We put here some of the most impactful: Internet of Things, big data, drone and satellites, robotics and automation, vertical farming, smart farming, biotech, precision farming. These are part of the solution that bring answers to this, let's say, increasing challenges. And for the food part, food safety, and for the smart city, either it is included agriculture area or to supply with safe nutrition. We will use this. You will use this technology, and the main, let's say, the main enabler will be the connectivity. So we are using technology, you're using device, we are using image, we are using several type of content to be more impactful. So let's say agriculture, according to one global study done by McKinsey, there is a potential value which will be unlocked by connectivity. We are talking about $500 billion unlocked by connectivity for agriculture. This is how the value creation will be done by 2030. For smart crop monitoring and for drone farming, we are talking about $300 billion already. So this is one of the potential, let's say, value creation in the next coming years only for agriculture. Agriculture, it will be one of the sectors that will drive to contribute to $2 to $3 trillion globally. So in our startup, we contribute as a solution, and RoboCare is an agri-tech startup that uses technology of precision agriculture technologies based on drone, spectral and thermal imaging, and artificial intelligence to sustainable agriculture. So we aim to have impact on farmers in the following areas. Cost saving, we aim at 20% cost saving of inputs, such energy, water, fertilizers, pesticides, and other. We increase productivity since we use automated inspection by 30%, crop quality and quantity. Revenue increase, and by 20%, and provide healthier vegetation. Since we help to crop monitoring for chemical and pesticide use and other inputs. This is our value proposition that we support farmers with. What is our solution? It is the SaaS, software as a service, IE, and web application that helps for crop monitoring. Crop monitoring from health detection, to prevent stress. So it is it is a smart system that captures invisible stress. So it can be not done by manual inspection. So this monitor crops and prevent stress, optimize the use of the inputs, and to improve land efficiency, land use, based on indicators that are produced by our solution. So the solution is we have a drone. We acquire the spectral and thermal imaging. Okay, we run under the software, and you produce a vegetation map with all the agribusiness indexes. These shown here an example of solution outputs. This is one of the reports that show the red, the yellow, and the green areas for each agribusiness index. We have two solutions, one for outdoors and one for greenhouse and indoors application. So we have our first customer here in Tunisia. We have the irrigation and all the water pressure and let's say the crop monitoring concern. We use it for olives, for fruit, almonds, for outdoors. And for greenhouse, we used with cherry tomato. We started with early stage customer in cherry tomato. And we are dealing with international demand from Middle East part and from other regions in the countries. So for the client, what is the trend, even for international client, if investor, they are looking to have a solution for monitoring the production from their countries. So they are based in Spain or in Europe, and they can follow and monitor and optimize their production output. This is the case, for example, for agroware growers, customer, that is based in several countries. We have one production in Tunisia for the cherry tomato, and we help him to run and to optimize the production. Here for outdoors, this is one of the first customer. We are talking about 600 hectares, okay, of olives and apples and almonds, and we help him to monitor and to optimize the use of pesticide and water. So we indicate, as you see one of the reports, the red area is showing the stress regarding one indicator, and we help, it is a decision tool to help to, the farmers to optimize the irrigation and so on, and to detect the stressed plant and the health monitoring. So I can see you here, for example, the use of the solution. This is run by the solution directly based on the acquired imaging from the drone, okay? So many indicators, many indexes to run. Our solution now is in his international journey. We have been awarded in several programs and connection in Africa and Middle East and locally. So we continue this journey with R&D staff and with tech staff. For example, for R&D staff, I have discussion here with some of the, let's say, agri-tech or providers, solution providers, to develop solution based on culture. So regarding, for example, the water pressure, the less consuming water, such olives or other plants, we are dealing with knowledge partner in several areas. For example, for intelligence, artificial intelligence, for spectral imaging, for agribusiness expertise, and for drones. This kind of research and development center in Tunisia and in Europe that we look to work with, and we have already initiated collaboration and ongoing settlement of R&D project. Our roadmap for next coming years will be focused on, let me precise here that we are starting with the big farmers. For example, for outdoors, it is more than 100 hectares per day capacity. This offer is more adapted, and we are working on several development projects in the next coming years and months. For example, coupling with spray for fertilizers, the crop estimation, such for olives, we can anticipate the crop before, the linkage with smart irrigation system and other ERP system for farmers. So we have already discussed with other partner solution in irrigation and other applications. Some of the needs are looking for underground irrigation leakage, so how we can detect them. This is one of the topics. How to integrate satellite image for day-to-day monitoring, because nowadays we are talking, for example, for olives, we do like 6 inspections per year. But for the coming development, we are trying to use satellite image and to run them under our solution to make day-to-day monitoring report. For the Middle East, we have already some identified leads regarding the dates crop and all concern regarding the red palm weevil, which is a serious threat in Middle East countries. Okay, so we can show you some cases of dates report. We are dealing also for example, for the smart city, how to integrate the landscape monitoring for gardens and parks, and how to manage these areas, okay? And for, let's say, when we run several customer cases, our solution will be fine-tuned, and we can go to the next level of predictive and automated agribusiness interpretation. Currently, we work with other experts, okay? And small and medium-sized farmers, it will be the next target. So I can show you for the palm case, this is only for palms. Such of indicator are produced for an area for a date. So several indicators regarding water, for example, here with the red, let's say the second line in the middle. The blue is well irrigated. The other are less irrigated. So, and we aim to detect such disease of red palm weevil based on thermal imaging, multispectral imaging run under our solution. So, we, in the start of the journey, in the smart city or other development project, we are very pleased to be connected to such initiative and disruptive initiative, and we hope to scale up and to be in the regional players in the Middle East and MENA region and EMEA market for, let's say, greenhouse and outdoors application. Thanks to all. I hope to have a discussion with you in the next coming period. So, thank you. Maybe there is a video in the end if you have time. But
oh, please launch it.
Thanks to all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anis Daoud. Now it's my honor to invite on stage Mr. Albert Cediel, Middle East Specifications Manager at Holcim. Mr. Albert Cediel will talk to us about environmental impact of the different roofing systems. And you can speak from here.
Thank you so much.
You're most welcome.
Buenos dias. Good morning to everyone. Well, I just want to start by saying that it's an honor for me to be here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I really look forward to providing you with some information that may be relevant for you and may be interesting as well. Let me start by just presenting a little bit myself and our company, because we're having an important change right now. Firestone Building Products has been a company that is in the roofing business for almost 40 years, even though most of the people know us for the tires and the pneumatics industry. But recently, a year ago, we have been acquired by Holcim Group, and we are changing our brand to Elevate. So we are going to have to take away our Firestone brand, and we're going to have to incorporate Elevate. That's what I put it here. So we are in a transitional moment, but I just want you to know that we come from a 40 years industry experience. Well, I just want to start by showing you a video, because always they say that a video or an image is worth than 1,000 words. And what I want to talk about here is a little bit about the environmental impact that the roofing and the waterproofing industries have in our world today, and how we have been also evolving. As you can see here, this is quite different to what many of you have been seeing on top of the roof when installing a waterproofing membrane or a roofing membrane. And this is where I want to focus. Okay, recently we made a survey among architects worldwide, in which we were asking them what is required from a roofing system today. And we thought, this is what we, in the end, put it all together in 3 different sections that I want to talk to you about today. One is about performance of the product. Another group is about future readiness. And another one is about sustainability. I'm going to get a little bit with more detail with all of this. When we talk about performance, we're talking about a product that withstands the weather conditions, the extreme weather conditions of the planet. A roofing membrane that withstands hail, the impact of hail, the changes of temperature. I mean, the extreme conditions, for example, in the Middle East, that's over 50 degrees centigrade, or the very low temperatures in Alaska. This is very important that they consider. When we talk about future readiness, we would like to focus on what this is a green initiative, the new trends that are coming into the new or the construction industry, new kind of buildings that incorporate green roofs or solar roof, PV panels on top, or what we call the cool roofs or the blue roofs as well. So a product that is, or a system, a waterproofing system that is today or has to be in top, and one of the priorities have to comply with all these aspects and also sustainability. So the world is changing, and also the waterproofing world is changing. Really in the 60s, and before the 60s, the waterproofing systems were applied with different layers of tar. Little later on, these tars were assembled in typical rolls that you probably have seen all over the world during the last decades, where this kind of materials have been installed using flame, using torch-applied products, which are very contaminating as well. But recently, in the 70s, the new discoveries in the polymers industry brought us new opportunities and brought us these new roofing membranes that I want to talk about today. And these new roofing membranes is what we call EPDM systems. And the word EPDM stands for ethylene propylene dienterpolymer, which is, let's say, the raw materials along with clay, along with some vulcanizers, along with some oils that we manufacture a single ply membrane, which is a rubber membrane that we call EPDM, and our brand name is RubberGuard. So, just to give you a little overview, worldwide, we would say that Asia, Middle East, Africa, and Latin America are still in their infancy in this transition from all bitumen products to these single new ply membranes. We would say that Europe and Canada are in a transitional moment. They have almost a 30% almost of the marketplace with EPDM, TPO, PVC, thermoplastics, single ply membranes. But we would say that in the United States, the single ply membrane covers more than 70% of the marketplace and is growing and growing and growing. This is basically related to this consciousness that we are expanding and awareness on how to use, how to develop product systems that are installed, always respecting the where we live, respecting the nature, respecting the human health and safetiness. All those things are very important today to consider. So trends are driven by demand, of course, as well. And so we would say that we need a product that not only perform well in front of the weather conditions, but basically a product that is very durable in time, a product that can last for about 50 years if possible. This is what we have with our EPDM membrane. You will see it through the presentation, some examples of it. Another one is that we need a product that is tested, that has been approved by laboratories where they test those materials. Another important issue is the application of those materials. If possible, trying to avoid the toxicity that some of these applications sometimes require, especially in the roofing and the waterproofing industry. We need a product that, due to these new trends, are let's say, very suitable to apply on these new trends, like I said, PV panels or green roofs that are coming up very strong lately. We need a product that local regulations, especially in the Middle East now regarding the fire resistant and all this, was a product that comply with these regulations locally in every single country, and a product that is sustainable as well. These are probably the most important issues that we have to keep in mind right now. So RubberGuard, for the last 40 years, is being trusted. We have gained and built up our reputation and gained the confidence of architects, contractors, building owners, and we are totally today worldwide, we would say. So these are three different blocks that are also important, not only product, but service. Along with the product, it has to come a service that also can offer, let's say, the warranties that are needed. And the joint venture, I would say, that we have to create between the manufacturer and the applicators or the installers of those materials, and how they together offer the industry a complete and sustainable product, and also the environment. So let's move on. Here, the EPDM membrane in its performance has about 50 years of, let's say, weather resistance. There is an artificial test in the European standard, the EN 1297, which requires 1,000 hours of EPDM that is being bombarded and bombed with ozone, with changes of temperatures in the labs. So we have passed this test for over 7.5 times more over the what is required. A membrane made out of rubber, as you may know, is elastic, and that elasticity offers a great advantages in the constructions. Is we know that all kind of materials, depending on the weather conditions, they expand and contract. So EPDM is 300% of elasticity with memory. When we say with memory, it means that if I stretch it out, it will return to its initial position, and that is very important. Some other materials lose that dimensional stability and cannot offer the mechanical and physical properties, or they cannot be watertightness, or the watertightness integrity may be lost during their life service. And then another important thing is a complete solution. And as Mr. Harvey Firestone, the founder of Firestone Company, says, success is the sum of all details. So we not only manufacture an EPDM membrane, but we manufacture a complete line of accessories, especially engineered and designed to flash all kind of details on top of the roof, which may be pipes, drains, inside and outside corners, and all kind of equipment, and etc. It is important, as you probably saw in the first image, that EPDM is basically a product that we manufacture today in up to 1,000 square meters in one panel. This helps us save time in the installation. This helps us reduce the number of field seams of joints, which is also important in terms of the water tightness integrity. And EPDM lasts, as I said, for 40 years. According to our experience, our first EPDM plant, or roof, sorry, was installed in Wisconsin in the United States 40 years ago. So this is a huge evidence of the real job that this membrane is doing, and it's actually something that is already there. This is not something that we are speculating that is going to last, but it is. We have clear evidence worldwide of these 40 years of proper workability. Another important thing about how EPDM is the flexibility, because the flexibility helps us adapt to the different kind of designs. Architects are always creating new ways to distinguish themselves from others and to create new opportunities and to expand our possibilities in our kind of design. So it is important to consider that it is a membrane that can be applied on all type of roofs, of supports. I would say concrete, wood, metal deck, etc. It is perfectly compatible. We have a different kind of multiple applications and systems, and I come here to say as well that we do not only manufacture the EPDM waterproofing membrane, as you can see here, the roof assembly, the complete build-up. We manufacture vapor barriers, we manufacture the insulation board, the PIR, polyisocyanurate insulation board, which is the most sustainable insulation board today in the marketplace. And we also manufacture EPDM and TPO, which are two different roofing membranes, especially designed for being very, I would say, thin compared to other membranes. Less weight. Our membrane is 1.5 millimeter thick. Other membranes from the market are 4 millimeters, are almost 3 times thicker. Our EPDM membrane weighs only 1.5 kilos per square meter. Others membranes weigh 4 or 5 kilos. That makes it more difficult to ship, to transport, to move on top of the roof, et cetera, et cetera. So this is some of the advantages that I can show you here. And then we would say future-proof. When we say future-proof, we are saying that it has to be a resilient material that can adapt itself to the wind stream climate conditions, it can adapt itself as well to for easy maintaining, for future repairs as well, or for recovering that membrane and putting in another new roof. That can be possible, and we have done it. This is almost impossible for other kind of membranes. Same as repairing a membrane that has been exposed to the weather conditions for many years. That turns out to be very difficult for the installer, the applicator, the roofing contractor to patch it, to use other membranes to expand the area, or in some extensions of the different constructions that we can see as well. And hail impact and all this natural aspects that we have to keep in mind. Here we also come to the green building. As I said, the solar roof, green roof, and the blue roof are initiatives that are coming very strong today, and especially in the Middle East. We are starting to see among architects the possibility to design PV panels and green roofs in their roofs, in their designs, in the projects in the Middle East, more and more and more. And as you probably know, the PV panels are designed to last over 20, 25 years. So when we install a plant of PV panels on top of the roof, we need to consider and we need to keep in mind that the waterproofing membrane or the roof assembly that is underneath these PV panels have to last at least 20, 25 years. Otherwise, we have to change it for a new one, and we have to remove the new one. We have to install it. We have to remove the old one. We have to install the new one. All that is a huge cost, not only in financial terms, but also in the environmental impact that we are creating. So we have to think of materials that have a long-term performance. So this is what we call an effective match, when we can incorporate a membrane or a waterproofing system that is going to last as long as the PV panels. Same with the green roofs. Green roofs have a lot of water. In some of the cases in the Middle East, they need a irrigation system. It's always humid. There's always ponding water on top of the roof. So we offer a complete design, as you can see here. This pointer doesn't work. We manufacture, we provide the industry with a complete different layers, including the vapor barrier, including geotextiles, including the drain system, the waterproofing membrane, and in some cases, and even in the United States, we provide the plants as well in some kind of prefabricated trays and et cetera, right? But in the Middle East, for example, we need to consider the landscape designers and the local plants that can accommodate to the weather conditions in the Middle East that are very demanding. Another important issue that I want to highlight here is that it's not only the success of a waterproofing system, it's not only related to the product. There are some other aspects that come along that are also, or even more important, and this is the case of the applicators or the installers of these waterproofing systems. Truth is that we understood a long time ago that it was important offering training to our contractors. So every single company that is interested in installing our products, we offer them training in our 30 training centers worldwide. We have those trained contractors. We give them support to those contractors in every single job. And we also offered material calculation. Our training is not only part of the service we are given. We offer support to architects, engineers, consultants, in all kind of design and all kind of systems they are projecting. And in these cases, we help them even with the wind design calculations, which are also important when we, for example, leave a waterproofing membrane exposed to the weather conditions, or even if it is ballasted or protected with green roofs. So there's always a considerations of many important issues that we are experts. This is what we have been doing for the last 40 years, and this is what we are willing to provide. Along with the specifications and project proposals, we are quite familiar in the Middle East with the CSI specs, the same kind of format of specifications that are used in the Middle East. We also give our contractors site support from the very first part of the project, from the very startup. We give them assistance. We give them a detailing advice. You know that the roofs are plenty of different penetrations, not only drains and pipes, but equipments like the air conditioners, HVACA, and et cetera, et cetera. So this is also important to considering that the manufacturer is giving support to the whole let's say, team, that is the consultant, the architect, the designer, the installer. This is a team in which we have to work together, and we are, as Firestone and now Elevate, this is what we have been doing for the last 25 years, strongly in the Middle East and in Europe as well. We just barely have a small numbers per country of installers and applicators. We do not provide others our materials who have not gone through our training process and our training centers. We cannot, let's say, assume that they're going to install it well if they don't know how to follow the specifications of the application of our products. And also the insurance and warranty, we offer 20 years warranty, which very few companies in the industry offer. We also are factory mutual, which is the most preferred insurance company worldwide, especially in the United States, for building owners, for developers to use or having an insurance where they can be more reliably more in agreement with this, let's say, kind of warranties that are given sometimes without any kind of insurance or just by writing a paper in some of the cases. So as I said, it is important to understand that we, Firestone and Elevate now, have a complete service from concept to completion. And when it's related to the environment, our environmental mission has been always in harmony with nature, reduce the CO2 emissions, which is also very important, and value the natural resources. For this, I have to say that sustainability, as I said, is probably one of the most important aspects, is the new growth in our world that is related to resources, durability, and in this case, a rubber guard, our EPDM membrane. Recommended by Greenpeace and Green Tip, as a roofing membrane with the least environmental impact, the EPDM. So this is also something that I want to highlight for you to keep in mind, please, that EPDM, as you can see in this graph, this is a graph regarding the global warming potential in kilograms per square meter of CO2 and the impact on our nature from the very first moment, from the extracting the raw materials, from manufacturing a product, from shipping and transporting that product to another place, from installing that product, and the durability of that product. That gives us a complete scenario to say that EPDM is the least environmental material in the roofing industry today. As you can see here, it is said by NIBE, by Green Team, but all kind of green institutions. Here we have also the NIBE, which is an institute of biology in Holland, that also says that EPDM has the hidden environmental cost very, very, very low compared to others. We also reward, or let's say, points with BREEAM LEED. We are a perfect advocate for these certifications, which are very common today in the industry. And also very important to say that reusing, recycling, and reducing is part of our 3R strategy. So the most sustainable roof is a durable roof which uses less resources. So I would say that here we have our website with this little image. I just want to leave you, and I really appreciate it. The sky is not the limit, it's just the beginning. Excellent performance, complete solution, outstanding service, and unmatched expertise. Here you got my telephone number. Here you got my mail. Anything, any doubt you may have, please contact me. I would be very, very pleased to give you the answer as soon as possible. So this is the end. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy very much Salamanca, as I'm doing.
Thank you very much, Albert.
My pleasure. All right.
Next intervention is going to be online. Can we check we have Mr. Richard Scott connected? Seems like it's okay. So Mr. Richard Scott is the CEO of Polski Basalt, and he's going to talk to us about basalt innovations in construction. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Nice to have you with us.
Well, I'd like to be there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get there, but hopefully I can give you a little insight into Polski Basalt as best I can.
Yeah, thank you very much. Please, in 10 minutes, and the floor is yours.
Okay, so Polski Basalt was founded by my partner, Stanley Rakicki. Stanley was born in Poland, but spent most of his working life in North America, where for 20 years he was chief engineer of NASA. Having left NASA, he started a building material manufacturing company, which is now one of the biggest in Canada and still run by his family. Whilst at NASA, he had access to probably the best research and development situation in the world at the time, and continues to work with them. We have worked very closely with most of the major universities across the world, and which has resulted in us developing what we believe is an alternative to steel. Steel has many applications, and we have developed a product which is based on basalt rock. And this development has taken some 30 years to put together. We are presently supplying a number of very large, or some of the largest infrastructure and construction projects across the world. And the benefits are huge, really. When steel, if I relate just to the construction industry, because we have applications across the aerospace, automotive, military, but for the sake of this conversation, we'll stick to the construction industry. Rebar, which is a steel reinforcement that is used in a lot of construction across the world. I think the rebar sales annually across the world are around about 500 billion a year. It was a great product when it started, but over the last period of time, there's been a lot of problems because it is corrosive, and buildings have been collapsing. The United States, I believe, are having to rebuild 86,000 bridges, etc. Our product is 6 times stronger than steel, is 4 times lighter, and has 3 times the tensile strength and it is environmentally friendly. It's totally non-corrosive, and will last pretty much forever. The other main attribute it has is that in production of basalt rebar, we produce virtually no CO2. So that has a massive impact, not only on the production in relation to steel, but in terms of transport. Well, transportation plays a huge part in the emissions across the world. But because of the huge weight difference, it also plays a very big impact on the climate. So Stanley decided about 5 years ago that he wanted to go back to the country of his birth, Poland, to start and further develop basalt, where we are now producing mainly rebar in terms of the construction industry and some reinforcement elements to concrete. We have a full order book for the next 2.5 years, so at the moment our main focus is on developing more production across the world, and we have signed 3 contracts with 3 other countries and are in the process of negotiating a couple of more. So we think the future, and backed up by one of the biggest institutes in the United States, they feel that basalt over the next 10-15 years will significantly reduce the world's reliance on steel. You know, there are various types of people doing steel, basalt rather, but we have a unique situation that not only are we using basalt, but we add to that nanoceramics, the miracle material graphene, which I think we are the only people in the world that have commercially produced it at a purity of 99.8%. So together with a small amount of other materials, that we have, we believe, a very exciting product that will revolutionise the building and infrastructure business. There's various parts of the world, for instance, that cities are sinking because of corrosion on existing infrastructure, and we are working with a number of countries and cities on that. And we obviously are very interested in working with Peace City to introduce our product to their exciting situations that are going forward. So, as I say, I could talk for many hours about the various aspects. You know, we have been tested by the military, and we are able to reduce the weight of tanks by 20%, for instance. So there's huge other aspects. Containers, shipping containers, we can produce at, again, 40 to 50% lighter and stronger than the existing models on the market. So the impact worldwide, we believe, is really huge. As I say, I'm trying to just concentrate on the construction industry, as was my brief for this conversation. So I think really that is, in a nutshell, what I can sort of tell you without boring you for too long. But we are available, and John has all our details. We hopefully in the next 3 or 4 years will quadruple our production as we need to, and hope that we can work very closely with Peace City.
Richard,
So,
thank you very much, Richard.
okay, thank you.
I would like you to make a comment, if it's a response to my question. We have some guests from the Middle East here, and in my understanding, basalt has a great future in the Middle East in general and in Saudi Arabia in particular. Would you please clarify that?
Yes, Yeah, absolutely. We have, as I explained, we operated in Poland. We've signed a contract with Norway to produce there. We're going to be producing in the United Kingdom, and we also want to start producing in the Middle East. And I've had a long conversation with John Mavrak, and Saudi Arabia would be of interest to us. We have huge inquiries from around that region to supply, so it would make a lot of sense to be there. They also have deposits of basalt. Basalt is a bit like oil; it varies in degrees. We have good basalt and bad basalt, but we believe that would be a superb area, and we have the orders already. Apart from what we can add to with Peace City.
Thank you very much, Richard, for being with us this morning.
Okay, thank you.
Our next speaker is Mr. Aurelio Muñoz Alfaya, Business Development Global Markets at Sener.
Okay.
If you could present Sener in a couple of minutes. And,
Yes, sure.
And of course, your presentation.
Yeah.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, hello, good morning, buenos días a todos. Basically, thank you for having me today here. I represent Sener. Sener is a global engineering firm, was founded in Spain in 1956. Now we have operations in all across the globe. We have offices in Spain, UK, US, Mexico, Brazil, Australia, and of course, Middle East. In the Middle East, we are in Riyadh and Abu Dhabi. So we are a multidisciplinary engineering firm. We have a lot of experience in delivering smart city solutions. And what I'm going to describe today is a compilation of some of these experiences. I will make focus on the Middle East. I only have 10 minutes, so I will not have much time to go into much detail in all these projects, but we can continue the conversation later on. So listening to all the presenters that have been here during all these days, we can see that this is a huge capital project. And also it's clear that one company will not be able to deliver everything. So we need to foster collaboration between the different companies. We need to reach good understanding between the different capabilities that different companies may offer, and just collaborating through the single purposes or unique purposes of delivering this Peace City Wall of Salamanca, it will be a success. So let me check if this works. Yeah. So I'm going to describe a little bit of our experience in the different verticals. So this huge capital project has a lot of components that have already been delivered in different places around the globe. So we do not need to reinvent the wheel. We need to leverage that experience. We need to be able to deliver on time, on budget. So we need to, of course, taking into account innovative engineering solutions, but also taking the best mature solutions to bring here to Peace City World in Salamanca. Some examples of our capabilities. We spoke these days about transportation. We have a lot of experience in rails around the globe. Rails, more than 15,000 kilometers of railroad delivered. If we think about urban transportation, we have more than 1,200 kilometers of urban transport in more than 70 systems around the globe. Highways, more than 8,000 kilometers. Airports, we are present in more than 150 airports around the globe. Ports, smart buildings. So more than 400 projects. Smart buildings is about energy management, it's about the building management, it's about efficiency in how you manage and operate the buildings. This is something that need to be taken into account in our smart city project. Water and environment, all our projects have an approach to sustainability, and I will speak about that later on. Engineering projects have evolved throughout the years, and now sustainability is a must. We do not make engineering projects as they were done in the 60s and 70s. Well, we now have a lot of regulatory commitments, also societal commitments to be sustainable and have the less impact in the cities. And finally, when we speak about smart cities, it's not about the civil engineering delivery, but also about all the data that we get from that assets to be able to operate and maintain them. This is the component of smart. It's not just about building the infrastructure, but it's about sensorizing them, getting data, and make that data valuable to make you make your best decisions. So when we look at the full life cycle of a smart city, first step is the master plan. We have been partners of Neom City for more than 5 years by now as an engineering advisors, defining the different verticals of the smart city. And I can see that all the verticals at Neom are quite similar to what Peace City World is thinking about. So we see that there are some complementary ideas. Maybe the verticals are not named exactly, but basically all the components are there. At Neom, we start by security of the citizens, security of the installations, security of the facilities. We also have all the related areas to citizenship, so healthcare, advanced healthcare. We speak about mobility and how we are going to organize mobility. Looking at previous presentations from the other days, it were very well illustrated, all traffic jams. If we move from diesel oil vehicles to electric vehicles, we will have the same traffic jams. So we need innovative solutions for mobility. We saw several of them these days, very interesting, by the way. So I think there are very good ideas in this event, in this think tank, of how we can tackle with the problems of mobility. We also focus in the energy and energy management at Neom. There is an ambitious project to integrate energy management system, for example, with water management system, how we are going to optimize the different energy vectors, hydrogen, photovoltaic, wind, with traditional TSO, DSO systems, and how we are going to optimize that, for example, with water management systems, the pumping station, the distribution network, sanitization networks, etc., etc. All that integrated. This is another concept of a smart city. We're going to integrate all the systems so that they work seamlessly. And for doing this, you need a data platform that is going to sustain that. Again, these ideas are not new. Some colleagues yesterday and the other day were speaking about data platforms. So I think that there is a lot of good ideas that converge to the same point. Also about waste management, about new developments, how new digital business can be a leverage from this new infrastructure. So all this as a whole, this is a holistic perspective that we need to define during the master plan. And then when we go into urban designs, well, here we have a lot of expertise delivering private and public buildings. Here I put some examples of the public, some representative public buildings. So we can do from residential design to big sports stadiums like the one in Brazil, or in Poland, the Cracovia one, or even some leisure parks in the US, like these wave garden surf parks. Going back to the mobility, the mobility for Peace City World is a special case, you know, because the point is that it's built from scratch. So you can define a mobility plan linked to the urban design. Here I'm showing some examples that we did for some existing cities where there is initial complexity because you need to integrate with existing capabilities and try to enhance them. So we have done mobility studies for people and cargo, also the concept of multimodal transport and synchromodal transport. So you need to elevate all the information from the different sensorized cargo items to be able to add that level of synchronicity that you want in a multimodal situation. I'm putting here two examples. One is the Bogota one in South America, but also the Vijaya urban area mobility study that we did in Algeria. If we speak about metro transportation, here we have a lot of expertise. We are present in the Abu Dhabi metro, the light rail train that's going to be is being built now. Metro Barcelona, Line 9 here in Spain, Metro Belmorn, and also I did not find the right picture, but also Metro Qatar. We have been in the project of different stations and Line 9 of Line 5, I think, of Metro Qatar. So we are very present in the Middle East with huge transportation projects. If we're thinking about urban roads, maybe urban roads is not going to be a big need here in the PCT World Salamanca. We are not going to need this, but anyways, I'm mentioning it. We have been delivering projects in the Middle East, like in Kuwait, the first ring project, but also here in Madrid, the Avenida Portugal and the M30 tunnels. We have been part of the project in consortia with other engineering and construction firms. And then finally, all this around sustainability, what I was telling you before. You cannot envision a smart city without speaking about sustainability. Sustainability, we consider the full life cycle of the asset. We think about energy and how we are going to be efficient in managing the energy that you need to operate the asset. Here we can combine the different vectors that we can have available for us, hydrogen. So we have expertise in hydrogen, photovoltaic, eolic, marine eolic, and also traditional conventional generation technologies. Also, we think that the other big aspect that you need to consider when speaking about sustainability is about water management. Both energy and water management help you to reduce all the topics related to your footprint, to your carbon footprint. And finally, the waste management. I think that these are the main three vectors that you need to start considering when speaking about sustainability and how to deliver this kind of projects. I'm putting an example. The most relevant that we have now, it's an ongoing project, is in Barcelona. Barcelona in Spain. We are helping deliver to the municipality of Barcelona and the metropolitan area an integrated plan for a global electric supply model. So Barcelona is increasing complexity because we are deploying a lot of electric vehicle charge stations. There is a plan to move from diesel buses to maybe electrical or hydrogen powered buses, and we are helping define all the plan and how to integrate all these different vectors for a more sustainable and green city. But again, this is a problem quite different to Salamanca. The PCT World Salamanca is going to be a greenfield project, so we can leverage all this experience into complex cities, very crowded cities, not to make the same mistakes again, and on the other side, leverage the best technologies that have been used with success in that big cities for Salamanca. Once you build all the assets, and now I'm going to the second part of the presentation, you need to think about data. You need to think about communications. You need to think how you operate everything. I'm going to put some examples of that. For example, for the intelligent transport and control centers, we have expertise in developing and deploying communication networks and systems. We have expertise in any type of technology for radio comms. It can be Tetra, Wi-Fi, GSM, LTE, depending on the characteristics of the place and the needs of the client, we can develop projects in any of these technologies. Also, if you think about intelligent transport, we need to think about signaling systems. If we think that we have going to be metro, rail, we need to track vehicle location. We need to have systems for train movement, trains protection in movements, etc., etc. All the security systems from access control to CCTV systems. CCTV systems is something that requires special consideration. CCTV systems depends or is the depth of the CCTV system sometimes is related to the different regulatory and legislation of each countries. There are places where CCTV systems can be applied anywhere with a lot of detail on face recognition and tracking of persons. There are other countries, for example, in the European Union, where these CCTV systems are limited to protect the privacy of the people. And finally, the operation control centers. And here I put a diagram of the operation control center. So, for example, line 9 in Barcelona is a fully automated line, no drivers, and we deliver the control center. Line 9 in Barcelona is still on building, so not all the stations are operative now, but those that are already in place use our control system. Let me move. I'm running out of time. I will skip a little bit more quickly now. More things related to intelligent transport and sensorizing and controlling the assets. One important project for us, Port Said, the tunnels and the Suez Canal, fully sensorized by Sener and all the control systems delivered by Sener. We are part of the High Speed 2 London-Birmingham project. This is still a big project. You know, there is a big consortia of engineering firms. We have Sener, we have Jacobs, we have Atkins there. So I want to emphasize that we are used to collaborate with other big engineering firms. As I said before, in a complex project like this, not only one company can deliver the promise. It's going to be possible to set up a big consortium of companies that can work collaboratively towards the single objective. And High Speed 2 is just one example where we are collaborating with other big companies. And finally, in Qatar again, in the Hamad port, we are making some works for the concept of towards the concept of a smart port. I will run. I'm running out of time. Let me just briefly, very briefly here. A basic concept for smart cities. It's about BIM and digital twin. So how we can get that integration, how we can get that interoperability of engineering models, because every company will use their engineering tools, their engineering classification scheme, their engineering codification scheme. So introducing BIM methodology helps us to establish a foundation for all to work together and collaboratively. BIM is not new. BIM is here from 20 years ago. There are some administrations, for example, the UK, for example, Spain, that in any public infrastructure building, you need to deliver the asset, but also the BIM model, which help you to have a digital representation of the asset. And this is a fundamental concept for smart cities. It's not about delivering the asset itself, it's also delivering the digital model that will help you operate and maintain. Just to mention briefly, Port Callao in Peru has been awarded a prize for the Organization of American States for innovative engineering. This has been delivered by Sener. We have been doing a digital twin of the port that helps to make logistics simulation so that you can track from the ship that enters, the vessel that enters the cargo, all the multimodal needs for transport, all the synchromodality requirements so that you optimize less time on site and the best route to exit the port and go to the final destination. All these simulation capabilities is based on algorithms that we at CENER have developed. Okay, so just 1 second. We need to speak about air quality. Air quality, we have Respira. This is a artificial intelligence-based tool that helps you control your level of CO2. Also, during the COVID-19, has been used in different infrastructures. We are present in ports and airports, and I think this is also something to consider. And finally, the last slide. Energy management system. You need a platform that will manage everything, all these components all together. So, another one. Structures monitoring. Also, you can sensorize your breaches so that you can ensure that you have structural integrity. We just won 2 weeks ago the Roosevelt Bridge in Washington. We are going to monitor and analyze the main causes of degradation that you can have from the structural point of view. So, thank you very much, and sorry for standing a little bit.
Thank you very much, Aurelio, and congratulations for CENER for your achievements.
Okay, thank you.
Very short break. I would like to invite Dr. Hani from the Supreme Council of Arab African Economy and Mr. John Mavrak, PCT World Chairman, to sign their MOU. And then we continue with our last intervention of this morning, Mr. Shadi Khuzam from Saudi Arabia.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is.
Congratulations, PCT World and the Supreme Council of Arab African Economy. Dear guests from the Middle East, if you want to come on stage for the photo. Sheikh Atwani, do you want to come for the photo? We haven't.
Send them your heart so they know that someone cares and their lives will be stronger and free.
As God has shown us by turning stone to bread, and so we all must lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children,
We are the ones
Congratulations.
brighter day, so let's start giving.
Production team, is Mr. Shadi connected? We have been keeping him waiting for a while now.
Hello. Let's see if you can hear me.
صباح الخير شادي.
هلا صباح الخير. كيفك منير؟
Nice to have you connected with us. Are you calling from Saudi Arabia or from Dubai?
Thank you. No, I'm from Dubai now. I'm connected from Dubai. I'm sorry I had to be there, but I had some emergency here, so I missed it.
Many people
anyway,
were asking for you.
Thank you so much. I miss everyone, and I would like to thank you, Munir, and thank ECW and WBAF for inviting me to this event. And I will start by sharing a presentation. So first, I would like to say that cities age. We build smart cities, but we like expect them to live forever, to stay forever. But they do age. Let me start by showing you how cities age. So I'm sharing my slides here. Please let me know if you can see it. Can you?
الله يجازيك بخير ان شاء الله تشوفك
منير؟
ساعة سعيدة في تونس. Yes, Shadi, we see you.
All right, good. So let me show you that first photo is like it's a building that collapsed basically because of some structural failure and because of aging, mostly corrosion and cracks, concrete. Here are some examples of like some structural deterioration. You know that concrete and steel with time, they get like chloride attack, sulfate attack. You get cracks in the structures. Even the asphalt on the right side fails. And you can have like some issues like in the street, say a manhole, the steel. It could be because of like wear and tear. It could be because of some accidents or damages. You can have vandalism in the streets, on the walls, and that happens. It's been happening for thousands of years. You can have some sediment in the soil. You can see this hole. It's probably because of a broken pipe somewhere underneath. And on the right side, you can see some poor housekeeping. Some maintenance people came and they just painted the column and left some tapes over there. Here you can see also some housekeeping issues and dying landscaping. On the right, you can see some concrete piece. We don't know if it's a leftover or somebody has been like working there, a construction company, they left it behind. Here there is a construction company who've like been building and then they damaged the street and it was kept unfinished. There is also here, same thing, housekeeping. On the right side, you can see some wires in the street. You don't know what they're coming from. So all these photos are taken in Dubai, which is a well-maintained city. And these are taken by our team, and I will tell you later why and what we do there. But let's look at smart cities. So if the conventional cities were aging that way, how would smart cities age? They can collapse. They can have cracks, corrosion, everything else. So housekeeping, etc. You're going to see this in smart cities as well, not just in the conventional normal cities, because you cannot stop the process. You cannot stop the aging process. You cannot stop the materials from deteriorating. You cannot stop the maintenance people or the robots maybe later to do improper job or incomplete job. So that happens. We have to expect that to happen. So how we're going to be doing it differently, this is what I'll be talking about. So mainly I'll be speaking about how to build small cities and how to maintain them mostly in a very short period of time because my time allocated is very short. A lot of the speakers have said very nice things, very nice ideas, innovation about the design of smart cities, about the features of smart cities. We're all mostly talking about the end product, the configuration of the end product, configuration of what a smart city is going to be like and how to design it. Now, I'm going to be thinking about how we're going to be building it, and most importantly, how are we going to be keeping it in a good shape. So the smart cities, when I'll just brief quickly that smart cities have transit system, public safety, wealth, public wealth, well-being, building automation systems, power grids, all that, smart management systems. They use IoT, Internet of Things, Internet of Drones, Internet of Vehicles, artificial intelligence in interpreting the data and analyzing them, coming up with the solutions. So all that is in part of the product, okay? So the building is a bit different. In this table, I've shown like the advancement of all the parts, all the phases. So the phase that I highlighted in yellow is the final product, which is mostly everyone is focusing on. The final product is going to be having all these AI, IoT, everything. But getting there, the design stage, many of the speakers have spoken about the design stage, and based on some references, it is semi-automated now. We have good design tools that can help into building a good, smart city. The construction, however, is still more behind. It's conventional. And I'm going to be telling you later why behind and how we can improve that. Final product, we all know how. The operations is as good as the tools that we have, as good as the digital twin, the software, the applications. The last point is until now, if you got any breakdown, if you got any crack, anything to be repaired, you're going to be like deploying a team going there with tools, but there'll be people like who will be visualizing the crack, for example, or the issue or the leakage in water pipe. And then they will be coming with like a repair. That is still way behind. It's not smart at all. So the design, as I said, speaking of design, because it's all integrated. Like when you talk about the design, we're talking about now BIM, Revit, digital twin, and these are not new. Like, I mean, there are new innovations which I'm not the expert at, as I said. In the construction, there are some attempts, and for example, the 3D printing. 3D printing is just a tool for a specific project to be built, a specific building. However, even for a building, it's not a complete solution because the 3D is not able yet to build a slab, to print a slab or print the foundation. It's mostly like printing the vertical elements in best case scenarios. And that has to be integrated into the whole city model. If you want to say, okay, that's a smart city and it's going to be fully built by robots, fully automated, that has to be tapped into the platform. The inspection and maintenance, which is where I started my presentation, all the photos you've seen in the beginning are photos that are going to be like happening in the smart city. So what are the elements in smart cities that we can automate? You know very well that material is not going to be living forever, so elements will not be living forever. They will be aging. They will require maintenance. So, and most of the structures after 10 years require major maintenance. When I say major maintenance, means like a costly maintenance. You have probably to replace some structural elements, repair them with chemicals, with repair materials, and maybe some of the electromechanical systems have to be fully replaced. In Dubai, currently, we have something that's semi-automated. It's not the smart thing that we're hoping to have, but it is somewhere halfway. We are doing some maintenance on some areas in Dubai. We have a team of inspectors, and they're equipped with a mobile app, which we have developed, and that mobile app captures photos that say you found these. And the objective of all that is to improve the quality of life of the residents of that certain area. So we want to make sure that they don't suffer, they're not annoyed by anything that's crack, leakage. Even like a garbage bag on the street is an incident that we capture and we upload. And that's uploaded and it goes to the facility management company, and they have a timeline to deploy their people to fix it. And we have KPIs. So I will show you, for example, that's an example of captured incidents in certain places in Dubai, with the color indicates the level of say severeness of or like criticality of the item. So some items are more critical, and we come back to re-inspect every single item, but after the allocated time frame. And you get automatic reports of all the incidents that arose in a certain period of time at a certain location, and we have scores. We have scores for the speed and quality and the feedback of how that is happening. Now, if we're gonna go smart, if let's say now we use drones with artificial intelligence, and these drones are going to be capturing exactly the same photo that the inspector is capturing, and maybe the AI will be able to analyze that. Okay, that's an issue that requires action. The action is going to be done by whom? Is it going to be done by humans or robots or machines in the future? That's something to be thought of. However, you will need more sensors. You need smart sensors from all the city connected to the main digital twin, maybe, or to the main framework, telling you that, okay, that structure now requires attention, or that road now, or that traffic light. You can have a very nice optimized traffic light, but that traffic light has to talk back to the system, tell the system, I'm not well, I need repair, I need maintenance. So we're looking for some smart equipment for the future to assist our automation, and all that can be used. I mean, that model that we're talking about can be used in the smart city in Salamanca that you're talking about. The roads require smart sensors, it requires drones with proper equipment, proper artificial intelligence. The buildings also, you need to measure the deflection in buildings, the leakages, probably like some thermal images nowadays can tell you if there is any dampness in the wall, if there is any leakage. The infrastructure is very important to be able to know about the infrastructure without actually uncovering whatever is underground. So also that requires technology. So briefly, I just showed you, I presented where currently we are and where we're thinking we can be. That's not easy, and it's a long way to get there, but nothing is impossible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Shadi. Wish you were here with us next time. I'm sure you will make it, and the sound will be much better.
I will promise.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Any
much,
questions?
dear panelists. It has been a great session, so we can free you. And we are going to move to some MOU signatures. The first MOU to be signed is between PCT World and US Discovery. Is my friend Oleg in the room? That's great. The second MOU is between PCT World and Executive Digital Partners, and I would appreciate if Mr. Mohammed Karouia gets close to us.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big
Congratulations, US Discovery and PCT World. The next MOU is between PCT World and Executive Digital Partners. Congratulations, EDP and PCT World. The next MOU is between Funun and PCT World. Congratulations, Funun and PCT World. قلت باش تعطي كلمة. مش تو. Okay. So, thank you very much. Let's take a coffee break. See you downstairs. Thank you very much for your attention.